We've had a number of people ask about, I'm going to put this out to both of you, but mostly you, Shaun. Quiet, out-of-the-way places in Scotland, Ireland, Wales, or even England where you'd go for a relaxing, non-tourist environment. Hidden spots that, if you can get to, you really shouldn't miss. Favorite getaways.
That's kind of a difficult question because Scotland is a really small country. It's probably, I don't know if this for sure, but I would imagine it's smaller than the state of Pennsylvania by quite a long shot. And we receive a lot of tourists every year. And so there's barely an inch of land in Scotland that hasn't been explored or visited. Pretty much in a day trip from either Glasgow or Edinburgh, you can cross the whole country. It takes like 4 hours to drive from the south to the far north. And there are certain islands which probably at one time were considered remote and out of the way, like Skye, for example, which is so saturated with tourists that by going there, you're going to be competing with tourists for... And actually, we did this quite recently, a couple of months ago. We could not get a restaurant reservation at all when we went to Skye 2 months back. It was impossible.
Freaking tourists.
Tourists, right? And in one way, that's great for the locals who've got lots of business, but in another sense, it's not like an off-the-path, unexplored place by any means. A couple of places I will suggest, though, and again, they're not off the path, they're not unexplored, but I really love to go to the Isle of Mull. Great place. I love it there. And the fact that you have to catch a ferry to get there, it does create that little barrier that stops the masses from going. It can get busy there as well, but the Isle of Mull is a fantastic island. It's a big island. It would take like 5 hours to drive around it slowly.
Southwest of Scotland?
Probably directly west of Oban.
Okay.
So basically if you look out from Oban, you can pretty much see it. Another thing, so there's a couple of great things about Mull. First of all, if you go to the south of Mull, there is an island just off it called Iona, which is where Christianity was founded in Scotland. There's a lot of stories you can look into about that. And by the way, it's gorgeous. Second of all, there's lots of beautiful nature, wildlife and all that. You can see white-tailed seals and all sorts of stuff there. Third of all, Tobermory is a gorgeous town. It's probably one of the most picturesque little villages anywhere in Scotland. Like, they've painted all the houses different colours. Gorgeous. And they also have a good whiskey in Tobermory called Tobermory.
Oddly enough.
So, yeah, I recommend Mull. There's lots to do there. You could spend 4 or 5 days there easily and not run out of things to do. Unless the weather's terrible, which it can be. Nice.
Now, when I was across, I've been to several different places. I haven't been to the Isles yet, but my favorite non-touristy kind of place was probably Aberfoyle, because it's kind of a very small town, middle of the Trossachs. We stayed at a place, I think it was called McDonald House or something. It was just outside, but it's a very small town right on, is it Loch Ard, I think?
Might be.
Yeah. So that was beautiful, and it was serene. There wasn't a lot of people there. Now, I went in January, but it was one of those, it's about an hour north of Glasgow. So that was great. And when I've told the story before where I took a day trip from Aberfoyle through the mountains to Glasgow, or to Callander. And it's kind of a winding road in between. And then on the way back, there's a little tiny spot to park your car, some benches, and we just kind of sat and watched. My wife and I sat and watched the sun go down over the mountains, and it was like dead quiet, and it left this weird impression on me of like, wow, there's no street lights, there's no nothing, there's no noise. You could hear a pin drop. So it's one of those where it's just a neat, serene type experience. So that was mine. And as far as if you want to see a city-esque, but have it not be too touristy, there's spots in Inverness, and it's a good central location to visit a lot of non-touristy type spots, like up north, or the Culloden battlefield is touristy, the Clavacairns are touristy, but if you go off season, you can see some touristy spots without people. So I am a proponent 100% of going to see Scotland in the winter. You gotta deal with some snow potentially, or some icy kind of roads, but it's beautiful in the winter. It's more brown, less purple, but it's still a great time to go.
And autumn as well. Autumn is fantastic. And I know this really wasn't the question, but like kind of to build on what you just said there, is the most overrated place in Scotland, which everybody knows about and everybody goes, and you've probably been as well.
Edinburgh Castle, Royal Mile.
Well, that's close, but no, I actually quite like it there. That's my hometown, so I'm not going to say bad things about Edinburgh. But Loch Ness, very close to Inverness. It's not the most beautiful spot in Scotland, and it's definitely one of the most overcrowded tourist spots in all of Scotland.
Was it Urquhart Castle's right on there too?
And that's beautiful. The castle's awesome, right?
Yeah,
but like it's not the most beautiful part in the country. It just isn't, and everyone goes there. Go there to see it, see if you can spot the monster. But definitely the most overrated from my point of view.
Fair, good point. No, I went on Loch Ness. I did. It's very, very black. I'm surprised how black the water was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went to Urquhart Castle. It's fun. It's ruins. It's great. But yeah, I agree. It's touristy-esque.
Definitely.
Touristic-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. I make up words a lot, dude.
Oh yeah.
All right. If you've been to Scotland, Ireland, Wales, the UK in general, let us know, what is your favorite place to go? What is your quiet, relaxing, out of the beaten path, out of the way place that you want other people to know about? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this kind of content, please remember to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this one, check out these videos over here.